Hi, this is Brett Phillips. Welcome to another episode of News Chat here on YouTube. Got a question for you today. Do you ever feel like you're being overshadowed by a government that's just growing bigger and bigger and bigger in size? And do you just feel like that the bigger government gets, the less rights you have? Do you feel like your rights are slowly slipping and fading away? Brings me to today's topic, which is eminent domain. Let's take a look at the legal dictionary's definition of eminent domain. It's defined as the right of the government to take property from a private owner for public use by virtue of the superior dominion of its sovereignty over all lands within its jurisdiction. Now, I should note that the Fifth Amendment to the U.S. Constitution requires the government to compensate the owner of property taken by eminent domain, stating, "Nor shall private property be taken for public use without just compensation." State constitutions contain similar provisions requiring that the property owner receive just compensation for the property taken. Well, I suppose we need to look at the definition for the word taken. To me, that implies something that wasn't yours. Well, don't worry, it's legal and everything, but it's still taken. Now, let's say that you had a private residence and you'd raised a couple of kids there and you had a lot of childhood memories in the home. It's a family home and you'd like to keep that family home in the family. Imagine that. You can't rebuild your memories. What if you had little lines on the wall, you know, when your kids were growing and you charted their growth and their height as they got older and older and older? And what if you remember, oh, that's where Sally fell and broke her leg, or that's the, you know, right out on the sidewalk there is where little Johnny first fell and scraped his knee. Those are memories that you will cherish for a lifetime, and you can never ever replace those. Well, suppose one day someone knocked on your door and said, "Hey, we've figured out that we can do something better here, and we don't care anything about your, family memories or your family history or any sentimental value that you may have attached to this private property. We want to put something else here. So don't worry, instead of just taking it from you, we're going to compensate you for what we feel is fair and just, and you'll just have to find somewhere else to go." Well, would you be okay with that? Would you go along with that? Well, guess what? You don't have a choice, my friend. That's the law. Oh yeah, it's legal. It's called eminent domain. Now, what if you had a business in the local community and it was thriving, and you'd worked hard for several years to build the business and you had a lot invested in it, and let's say that the economy went south. Notice how I'm using that analogy right now. And why am I using that analogy? Well, case in point. There's a couple up in Auburn, New York that have a pet grooming business, and guess what? There's a land developer that wants to come in and just bulldoze it down as if it never existed, I suppose. And he wants to build a hotel there. And that's just what New York needs, is another hotel, right? Well, I suppose that another hotel would be great. Of course, it's a moneymaker for the land developer and it's a moneymaker for the city. What about the money making of the business owners that bought the property fair and square and legally, and they just don't want to sell? Do you believe they should be forced to sell their property? Do you believe their property's worth anything close to what it was worth a couple of years ago before the economy under this current administration went south? Well, I'd like to hear from you because your voice counts, your opinion matters, so I want you to stand up and be heard. Well, how can you do that? Well, it's very simple. Just comment on this video and send this to your friends and to your family members. And the more we stand up and speak as a country, the more chance we have of overturning some of these crazy laws. We have to abide by the laws. True. but it doesn't mean we can't affect real change. And I'm not talking about this change that so many were suckered into, and I think you know what I mean. I saw a Democrat on TV this morning being interviewed, and he said he was perfectly fine with what was going on in Auburn, New York, and that the benefit to the community outweighed the benefit to this couple and their business. So basically what he's saying is they should lose their business. I don't believe they should lose their business, but I don't want to put words into your mouth. I want you to tell me what you believe. Do you believe the government has the right to come in and seize your property, whether it's personal property, private residence, or business? Or do you think that once you buy something, it ought to be yours until you decide to sell it? What do you think? Hey, if you haven't subscribed to this channel, before you leave, I'd appreciate it if you'd go ahead and do that. Be sure to tell your friends, be sure to tell your family members about this, and certainly if you would tweet about it and let everyone know that follows you in Twitterville that there's a place they can come and have their voice heard, I'd sure appreciate that. Thanks for watching. Remember to always live life with passion. Make this a good day, because you know what? You really deserve it. Take care, and God bless.